I'm pleased to present today's webinar, Qualified to Work, Tapping the Skills and Experience of Internationally Trained Immigrants. Internationally trained immigrants face barriers to employment when their qualifications, skills, and experience are not recognized. Exacerbating these challenges, people who work below their education and level of training face steady de-skilling and brain waste. The scenario of doctors driving taxis is more than just an urban myth. Can we really afford to put these valuable new sources of talent and social capital at risk? To help us unpack these issues and share strategies that recognize the value of immigrant talent and leverage opportunity for internationally trained professionals to work to their full skills and qualifications, I am delighted to welcome today's guests who join us virtually from Augsburg, Germany. We have Anne Güller-Frey, who is the transnational coordinator of the IQ network Migrants. And from Montreal, here in Canada, we are joined by Nathalie Tellier, Employment Diversity Advisor with the City of Montreal. So first, from Augsburg, let me introduce Anne Güller-Frey. Anne coordinates the Bavarian IQ network, Migrants, with 50 project partners focusing on the labor market integration of migrants and refugees in Germany, with international partners in Austria, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and Italy. Anne also leads the MEET network, that's M-E-E-T, or Migrants, Employment, Empowerment, and Training, a transnational project to raise awareness and send a positive message about immigrant employment. Today we'll hear more about Anne's award-winning public awareness campaign called Recognition Now, Integration Begins at Work, which aims to recognize the skills and qualifications of internationally trained trades and professionals. Welcome, Anne. The podium is yours.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Here's speaking Anne Güller-Frey from Germany, Augsburg. Thank you for introducing me, Kim. And it's a pleasure for me to introduce you to learn from our experience, and I will introduce you the Network IQ from Germany, and especially the media campaign Integration Starts at Work. So I will first begin that the Network IQ is funded by the Federal Ministry of Labor and Social Affairs and the Federal Ministry of Education and Research, and also by the European Social Fund. I think this is necessary to know. And in the beginning, I will just talk about some facts about migrants in the German labor market. So just for you to know, to have an overarching picture. So Germany is home to around 60.3 million people with a migration background, and this corresponds to 20% of the population as a whole, with a rising trend always. And the unemployment rate of people with a migration background, adult migrants, is 8.9%, about twice as high as for people with a without a migration background. And this was the start of the Network IQ, that the Federal Ministry of Labor and Social Affairs implemented the network because of this situation. Then, of course, the aging of Germany's population, we have the situation that this will lead to a shortage of skilled labor in the next decades. And we have a significant growth of migration flows to Germany in recent years, new rising trend since 2010. And of course, since the last year, as you have heard, there came or still coming a lot of refugees and asylum seekers. Now we have a new legislation law, the law on the recognition of foreign qualifications since 2012. This is important to mention when it comes to the procedure of the recognition of foreign qualifications. And we have to say that the recognition of foreign credentials has improved due to the new legislation, but there is still a lot to do. There is still much room for improvement. Here you can see the Network IQ, the focus of the Network IQ. In the actual support period, we have 3 overarching goals. So we are working in focus area 1. There are implemented all part projects focusing on counseling on recognition of foreign credentials and on professional training measures. In focus area 2, we have implemented the professional training measures, and in focus area 3, we work on the topic intercultural opening processes of labor market stakeholders. That means we work with public employment agencies, with small and medium-sized enterprises, and of course we work also with cities and municipalities. Here I can see an overview of the structure of the network nationwide. So we have in each federal state in Germany one regional network, which means that we have 16 regional networks at a whole, 5 competence centers, and of course the regional networks are coordinated also in each federal state. So we are coordinating the Bavarian regional network, which is called Migranet, from the Institution to Integration Projects based in Augsburg. So the goal of the regional networks is to provide information on the recognition of foreign credentials, as well as to strengthen diversity in labor market institutions, public administrations, and small and medium-sized enterprises. And Kim also already mentioned it. There are 53 project partners Bavarian-wide, and just to give some examples of the network partners we have, these are the chambers of handicraft, the chambers of commerce, universities, as well as the cities like Munich, the city of Nuremberg and Augsburg, adult educational institutions as well. So, and the competence centers function as a support for the regional networks. This is important to mention because they work on, there are 5 competence centers nationwide, and they work on these various topics, which means job-related German language skills. Then we have counseling and job training. There is one competence center to work on the topic immigration. The other is with the topic entrepreneurship of migrants, and then we have the 5th competence center working on the topic intercultural competence and anti-discrimination. So let me now come to the media campaign, which we started in the beginning of the Network IQ. It was the support period 2005 and 2007. So this is just to make a short correction. We are at the moment we are no more working in the transnational partnership, but during this duration, 2005 till 2007, we had the transnational network called MEET, where we worked and we developed the campaign. But I have to mention that we in Bavaria are still working and further developing the campaign with various materials, which you will hear now. So we had a partnership during this time of 65 organizations based in Italy, Austria, the Netherlands, and the UK, and the topic was to awareness raising, promotion of positive images of migrants among stakeholders. So the slogan for the media campaign is now integration starts at work. We began with slogan recognition now, but since we have the law on recognition in Germany, we changed the slogan to integration starts at work. And again, the aim of the campaign is to change the public view on migrants from deficit to resource orientated, and of course to take influence to change the opinion about migrants. So we think migrants should be seen with their potentials, with their resources, and not with their deficits. So we focused on 3 target groups when developing the campaign. This was the economy, the employers, the companies, including small and medium-sized enterprises, the stakeholders in policy and other public relevant groups, and of course the whole society, public society. The structure of the campaign was that we started to work on images of migrants. So you can say I just have to go to the next slide, yes, to see that to start with images of migrants, we developed various material. These have been the banner exhibition, Many Worlds, Many Abilities, the cinema spots, postcards, a brochure, Use Your Skills, where we made interviews with migrants, and other actions. And the focus of the images have been, or the questions have been, to the migrants: what did you do in your country of origin? What have you learned? What did you work? And what have been your experiences? And what are you doing now in Germany? And what, in case they did not find a job so far, what is your wish to do? What is your wish to work in Germany or in other European countries? So we produced also press articles, like a poster action we have already implemented, publications we did. And there is, for those who want to learn more about the campaign, the website as a central platform, here with the links mentioned. Here you can see again the Bavarian mag with the slogan, "Integration begins at the workplace." And the success of the media campaign, just to mention some things, was that we had the possibility to present the campaign in Brussels, in the European Parliament, and in the Bavarian representation for 1 week with all materials. And the cinema spots are featured nationwide in various cinemas, in various cities. And of course, to mention also the award, we won the Bavarian State Government's Prize for Integration in 2013. And at this picture you can see in the banner exhibition in the European Parliament in Brussels. There we have been for 1 week, and over here you can see the info desk as well. This is the prize winning, the award we won in 2013 from the Bavarian State Government. And here you can see some of the material, some examples of the material, the cinema spots here, and the banner exhibition, one example of the banners we did. And to come back now to the network IQ as a whole, to the achievements of the network as a whole. So I mentioned it already, we are still working on the campaign. We are developing the campaign with various important partners. So we organized since 2012, you can say 3,500 events, conferences, sessions, information events, etc., etc. And of course, we provide training courses organized by the network on the topics recognition of foreign credentials and qualifications. One topic as well is diversity management and intercultural competence. Then we are often asked to do information events on immigration and residence law, and also professional training for migrants, like saying bridging courses in case of a partial recognition. So in a nutshell, the success of the network IQ is that we have the possibility to have regionally and locally tailored approaches for our topics, that we can test innovative models, which is also very important, and we can work on a long-term perspective because the funding is quite robust. We have a variety of actors involved, and of course we have a broad range of action fields. So flexibility to react adequately to societal changes and to political needs is on top of the network. And before I finish my presentation, this is, for us, it's a very important definition because it relates to that work is not only just to have the work for individuals, it is much more that, and we think this definition on United Nations Human Development Report is quite important also. So thank you very much for your attention.
Oh, thank you, Anne. That was tremendous. Thank you for sharing that the success of Migrants, tremendous success, a wide-ranging and comprehensive program that in so many ways grew out of this incredible public awareness campaign. I think thank you very much for putting all of us really with that, not just employers, not just the policymakers, but the public, the importance of the public and the media into that frame, because it is in fact all of us that need to get engaged on these issues. We need the leadership of more smart programs like these and leaders who recognize the contribution that migrants are bringing to the economic and social well-being of our cities. And of course, in many cities, local government is not only a major employer, but the largest employer in town. In smart cities like Montreal, public institutions are stepping up to that challenge and making diversity their strength. So, from one award-winning initiative to another, let me introduce our next speaker. Nathalie Tellier has been Employment Diversity Advisor with the City of Montreal for 13 years. With a mandate to diversify the city's public service, Nathalie collaborates with many organizations and groups across the Montreal region, including unions, private sector employers, and local and community stakeholders. Nathalie has developed and managed the City of Montreal's professional sponsorship program since its inception in 2006. This award-winning program helps new immigrants enter the municipal public service through an in-depth mentoring process. In October 2016, the professional sponsorship program received the Award of Excellence in the Public and Government Sector category from the Canadian Race Relations Foundation. Congratulations, Nathalie, and welcome. The podium is yours.
Thank you, Kim, for that introduction and for giving me the opportunity to share my work at the City of Montreal with you today. Welcome, everyone. So, Montreal is an international metropolis that is distinguished by the exceptional cultural vitality and internationally recognized by creative industry. The city population will soon hit 2 million, and like so many cities today, its growth is largely fueled by immigration. In 2011, immigrants represent 33% of the city of population, or about 613,000 residents. The top 6 countries of origin of immigrants to Montreal are Haiti, Italy, Algeria, Morocco, France, and China. 87% of the population of Montreal speak French, 10% English only, and 3% are allophone. This refers to the 3% of Quebec residents that do not speak either of Canadian two of official language, French and English. The City of Montreal is the largest employer in the city with 19 boroughs and 28 services centers. With 25,000 employees, the City of Montreal is not the only largest employer in the region, but also the most diverse corporate entity operating in the city. So let me talk about the program. So the program is the professional sponsorship program, offer participants a paid internship opportunity of 27 weeks as part of the city commitment to take action on the employment integration issue faced by immigrants. It is one of the city flagship measures included in the 2016-2019 Employment Diversity Action Plan. Established in 2006 in collaboration with the 2 government agencies, to date, 430 people have gained Canadian work experience. 78% of participants represent diverse or immigrant community. The program has a three-party funding model. Afro-Québec, the Provincial Ministry of Labor, offer a wage subsidized equivalent to the provincial minimum wage, and the City of Montreal pay the salary difference based on the standard scale for remuneration for position. On the other side of the equation, the Ministry of Immigration, Diversity and Inclusion fund the program annual evaluation and the cost of the training, the mentor and the mentees. This is an essential component of the program that promotes the harmonious integration of the intern into the workplace and build openness and cultural diversity within workplace team. To apply for internship opportunity, applicant must be eligible for the subsidy offered by Afro-Québec and obtain the letter of eligibility. They must also meet the requirement of the specific job placement and have the credential and year of experience required. Through the program, the City of Montreal offers 50 paid 6-month internships each year to candidates who were qualified in terms of education and experience, but who have difficulty to integrate an employment. Our city attracts the majority of immigrants who choose Quebec as their home. To ensure its economic development, Montreal must address the challenge of recruiting immigrants into its workforce. And the social and economic integration of immigrants require quality jobs. The underutilized potential of human capital represents a huge loss for the Montreal economy. In 2006, the City of Montreal took concrete action to respond to the employment challenge of immigrants who were highly educated and the problems they face in their search for a job, the first job, and the professional or technical level. We create the Professional Sponsorship Program. By offering training, the opportunity to gain meaningful work experience in their sector and of employment. The program contributes to fight against social exclusion, discrimination, and racism. In addition, for an organization such as ours, the program is an excellent opportunity to prepare a competent workforce and talent pipeline for the future. We know that many university-educated immigrants risk the descaling by accepting jobs below their level of qualification and experience. The program is designed to curb the descaling of international trained skilled immigrants. The program has 3 objectives. Like you can see, it's a response to the need for newcomers to have qualified Canadian work experience, develop the talent pipeline for Montreal Public Services, raise workplace awareness of the capacity of immigrant employees to improve public service. Human Resources Department provides the link between the need of a skilled worker who are often highly educated and who are looking for work experience, and the workforce need of the City of Montreal. We select qualified applicants for job placement that best meet the program goal. Several factors are taken into account in the selection. The vulnerability employment sector that have difficulty to recruiting, organizational priority, the possibility of hiring the mentees, the link between the internship and the job held by the mentor, an equitable distribution of jobs across the city by manager, maximum 4 projects, the diversification of job offered, a single internship position as offered by mentor, where there are no prospective job candidates, so no pipeline, the quality of the project submitted with a detailed work plan. And one of the keys to this success is twinning with the volunteer employee to be a mentor. Professional mentorship is a win-win for everyone. It provides trainees with a great work experience, and municipality employees receive assistance meeting their deliverables. An employee's commitment to mentor program participate promote integration in the workplace and maximize the transfer of knowledge and expertise. With the support of the Ministry of Immigration, Diversity and Inclusion, the city offers training to participants on coaching and communication and professional collaboration in the context of diversity and employment. This training is designed to support mentor and mentees for optimal participation in the program. Since 2006, 296 employees have acted as mentor and received training in intercultural communication. Mentor, principally manager and professional, also gain practice experience in managing the diversity. So this formation, the objective of the training is designed to support mentor and mentees professional participation in the program. So communication and professional collaboration in context of this diversity are objective to recognize difference in workplace behavior and culture, get to know each other better to communicate more effectively and manage emotion, demystify diversity in the workplace and develop understanding of the factor driving behavior, become open to different social sensibility, and learn to collaborate in complementarity, contribute through appropriate attitude to creating a healthy and inclusive workplace for all, develop social and cultural competency that will contribute to the success of the mentoring relationship. We create the promotional poster explaining the program to job seeker, and it's answered to disseminate information in various forums across the city, especially to the settlement agency and community-based organizations that help people looking for work, similar to those organizations that participate at the Provincial Immigration and Integration Fair. To raise our profile and increase community engagement, last May we embraced social media and created a Facebook page, Diversity en Emploi de Montréal, and joined many community organizations. We met with their director to talk our employment diversity plan action and the professional sponsorship program too. Every connection counts and helped open the city to the diversity and the skill immigrants bring. Our work was recognized with the Award of Excellence by the Canadian Race Relations Foundation, like Kim said, And in 2015, the city was awarded of the Maurice Pollak Award, which highlights the City of Montreal commitment to ethnocultural diversity. Let's talk about statistics. So 3 months after completion of the internship, we conduct participant survey to verify the placement rate. Between 2006 to 2015, 219 of the 380 mentees who complete the 6-month work experience were employed. That represents 57%. Of these, 164 remain employees by the City of Montreal. These public services employees are developing career across the city, and some of them have become managers. The program is transforming Montreal public services. 90% of the participants are employed in their professional field, having acquired the qualifying experience necessary for successful workforce integration. So remember the essential for this program. In June 2016, the Executive Committee of City of Montreal grant the budget to the program to support salary for the next few years. This budget makes it a possibility to sustain the program and to double the number of interns. In addition, the Newcomer Integration Office in Montreal encourage largest Montreal businesses to replicate and adopt professional sponsorship program model to allow even greater immigrant participants in the Montreal economy and through the Quebec. So as the larger employer, the City of Montreal recognized the mutual benefits of hiring skilling immigrants. The benefits for participants include gaining Canadian work experience in the participant area of competence, getting coaching and mentoring by an employee of City of Montreal, building a network of professional contacts. The benefits for the city as employer: we discover a new source of skill and experience and talent pipeline for the future. We create a more diverse Montreal public service. We raise workplace awareness of the contribution of skilled immigrants to improve service to all citizens of Montreal. We contribute to build on the success of this program that celebrates its 10 years anniversary in 2006. From top to bottom, our city leaders and our city staff recognize and value the immigrant talent that bring to our workforce. At the Professional Sponsorship Program 10th anniversary celebration, the Mayor of Montreal, Mr. Denis Coderre, in the presence of the Quebec Ministry of Immigration, Diversity and Inclusion, contribute to employees who have participated as mentor with the program more than 5 times. 8 outstanding employees receive an award in recognition of their commitment and contribution to the success of the program. At the same time, we welcomed the new cohort of 50 interns. Our mayor remarked on the success of the program 10-year history are best captured by the word of the participants themselves. We produced a video you can see on the right. with a testimonial from both Montreal and Montes, which can be found on the City of Montreal website. We hope you will find time to visit our website. We encourage businesses to think about how the professional sponsorship program could be replicated in your own city. We have a lot to learn and also a lot of experience to share. So thank you. I look forward to taking your questions during the question and answer period. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Thank you, Nathalie, for sharing the success of Montreal's professional sponsorship program, and congratulations on your 10th anniversary. That is a great celebration indeed. Augsburg and Montreal are both not only cities that are leaders in labor market integration, but are clearly opening up space for all of us for new thinking and intercultural learning in the workplace. We really need more cities and businesses to follow your lead. We're going to turn now. We've concluded the formal part of our today's webinar. We're going to turn to our audience. It's time for our Q&A and for your participation. So please continue to submit questions to the Q&A box while I field the first question. The first question that is always my prerogative, so I'm going to we've heard a lot today from both our experts about how important strategies like mentoring, how important work experience is, language and communicative competencies all are so important for newcomers accessing the job market. But what are the benefits to employers? I'd like to hear a little bit more about strategies that you've used that help employers appreciate the benefits of recruiting internationally trained professionals. And perhaps we could start with you, Anne. How do you engage employers in this work?
First of all, as you have heard, we employers are one target group of the whole network IQ when it comes to provide intercultural trainings, to provide diversity awareness trainings. And I can say that the most important is that they implement as a strategy diversity management in their company, in their firms. So we have learned that this always has to be a top-down approach, a top-down strategy to say that we respect others, we respect all employees, and most important is in this strategy to see diversity as a chance for the company, as a value and a potential that can create, let's say, innovative solutions for various economies as well as for clients in companies. And of course to see migrants, to see refugees with their potential through their knowledge and their diverse experience they bring with them.
Very good.
You have to say that diversity management in Germany is really in the beginning.
It's in the beginning.
It's in the beginning, yes. There is the Charter of Diversity we have where companies can sign up and can say that we will put forward this topic in our company. But there are still a lot of companies saying that, or we know from a research recently done, is that 2/3 of the companies in Germany, I'm speaking now for the whole Germany, did not have implemented already diversity management measurements, and only 19% say that they are planning concrete measurements. So
the importance of bringing greater awareness of the importance of this to people is all the more important. So let's ask Nathalie as well. How is the City of Montreal? How do you engage employers on the benefits of recruiting internationally trained professionals?
Yeah, you have to find what is good for the employer. So financial institutions banks understand the benefits very clearly fast. It's about line money, about its economic case it's clear. When you hear Chinese to speak bank teller who communicate with the local custom, you can make more money, are more competitive with offering more attractive and possibly better quality service. And for the municipality level, it's all about better services to the public. So the diverse workforce is also driven by innovation, contributing new idea and different way to solving problems. So the program, the program sponsorship bring example in Montreal, the bureau have limited resources for discovering the new way to doing things. So the international experience of many immigrants can provide really opportunity. Recently, a new meetings lead the major review of the city street cleaning system based on their experience in Eastern Europe. So it's bring new idea. Finally, the diverse workforce make the city open to the new idea. Not every city can send employee in China to study the transit flow, but we need to this kind of insight and experience. So bring people, immigrants with our experience. It's a plus for the city.
It is. It is. Plus, it's not all about employers having an opportunity to skill up and train the foreign trained professional. It's also about how much more they bring with them. Thank you very much. So my next question is that on the question of foreign, how many employers are reluctant to hire internationally trained individuals because of their, foreign qualifications. So this focus on qualifications rather than competencies can become a real barrier. What are some practical tips to help employers rethink how to evaluate job candidates? Is there a way to focus on real life competencies rather than just the formal qualifications? And maybe Anne could take that question to you.
Yes, thank you. I can speak a little about our experience in the network we made so far, that as you may have heard that Germany is very, very much focused on documents, on papers. So candidates who do not have written proof of their competences, this is quite new for us. And as at the moment came a lot of refugees and asylum seekers without papers, this is a very actual topic now. And I can tell from our experience that very, very important is as a strategy or as a challenge that employers create learning opportunities to prepare candidates or individuals for working in a new country, you can say. So there are employers, we know, we have heard it because we are making now interviews with employers also for their innovative ideas in employing migrants and refugees, and they want to see what candidates can, what they like to do, what is their passion to do. And often we hear that candidates have to fit to the company and that they have to like what they are doing, and they also have to fit into the team. So this is, I think, giving individuals the chance to gain work experience is always the first step in the whole procedure of getting access into the labor market and in finding the right job then. So you can say the role and the engagement of companies is a very, very important one.
Mhm. And to you, Natalie, how are you helping employers make that switch from competency to competencies from just narrow qualifications?
Mm-hmm. I think it starts with the recruitment. The City of Montreal has invested in the recruiting process itself by training recruiter and manager on the challenge faced by the foreigner trainer jobs applicant. Training the recruiters mean teaching them how to read a CV, how easy it is, for example, to discriminate based on a few items, take more time with applicants. At the point of hire, it's hard to appreciate how difficult it is when the candidate don't speak the language fluently and can talk about network and scenarios that the recruiter recognize. Interviewing are challenging. Most recruitment process are too formal and don't allow immigrant applicants the time they need to share their strength. Every interview needs to be longer. Recruiter need cultural sensibility, and the ability to assess skill and experience that is being represented under challenging circumstances. The mentorship program with the 6-month internship creates a less formal environment and a more authentic basic for the evaluation. So 6 months is good to have a great evaluation of the potential.
That's great. That's great. That's very helpful. I see that we have a lot of questions coming in from our audience, so I'm going to move now to those audience questions. I have a couple of questions that relate to what in Canada we call qualified Canadian work experience. Alain Rigaud wants to know what actions Montreal has taken to reduce the qualified Canadian work experience barrier. And we have also a question from Breda, who asks Anne a similar question. Migrants in Canada face a barrier. Is this an issue in Germany? And if yes, how do migrants overcome it? So let's start with you, Natalie. How is your program changing this, the challenge of this Canadian work experience rule?
Can you repeat it?
The question was that how can we reduce the requirement to have qualified Canadian work experience? Has your experience in Montreal's program, does it suggest that we can reduce this barrier?
You have the credential and the qualification, or
it's specifically the Canadian work experience.
Okay, but for us in Montreal, we say to the recruiter, the experience you have in the world is the same as ours. Just you have to prove you have the knowledge. So if you have 10-year experience in Mexico, you can do it here too if you have the experience.
And I understand your training program is helping recruitment staff, actually understand that. That's very important. So, this question also was directed to you, Anne, by Braden, who wants to know whether that's an issue in Germany and how you deal with it there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I can see. And I can say, yes, it is an issue in Germany. we know that employers or companies are a little bit reluctant when there are coming candidates without having German work experience. So they don't know how to handle it. So we can say to have German work experience is always an advantage when looking for a job, because employers like this. They trust more maybe the German workplace experience than other countries' workplace experience. So we hear this a lot of time.
So it's a challenge everywhere. I have another question, more technical, just a short answer from each of you. One of our guests would like to know what the major professional groups are that you're working with in both in the Augsburg and in the Montreal program. So Natalie, what professional groups does the City of Montreal primarily work with through its program?
We are in the I don't know in English, okay, so it's very difficult for me to know. More
Engineering?
Yeah, engineering.
That's the dominant trade. And how about you, Anne, in Germany? Which professional or trades groups are you primarily dealing with?
Yes, when it comes to the recognition of foreign qualifications, we can say these are the groups in the health sector, doctors, then the healthcare sector, elderly care as well, but also pedagogues and engineers.
Teaching and engineering,
Yes.
Very interesting. Okay, we have another question from Alain Rigaud. He's specifically interested in hearing a little more about your success helping immigrants start new business ventures. So immigrant entrepreneurs, I think he's referring to the work you do with small and medium businesses. Perhaps you can share some of that success. How do you help immigrants start new businesses?
We had and we have still some projects working on this topic to help immigrants to set up their own business. And you can say Germany is the country, as far as I know, with the lowest hurdles to set up your own business.
Oh, interesting.
This is what I think the OECD country report mentioned already. So it is quite interesting, let's say, for immigrants coming to Germany to set up their own business.
Well, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have another question here from Monica Feiss. This one is for you, Natalie. You made reference to the financial partnerships in your presentation, and Monica would like to know who you have partnerships with.
Yeah, like it's Emploi Québec. It's Ministry of Labor and the Ministry of Immigration, Diversity and Inclusion. They provide formation, training, and survey and things like that.
Have you got any corporate partnerships? Private sector?
No, we don't have.
No. How about you, Anne, in Migrants' work?
What was the question? To work with private?
Our audience is always interested in how these programs are funded. So outside of your government funders, do you have any private sector support?
No, we get the funding from, as I mentioned, from the Federal Ministry of Labor and Social Affairs and the Federal Ministry of Education and Research and the European Social Fund.
Okay, so both forward-looking governments. Very good. I have a question for Natalie, and again, this question is, how does Montreal work with their unionized staff to ensure that their mentorship and training programs go ahead? Is the unionized staff of the city supportive of your work, or how do they participate?
My colleagues wrote on the chat, so it said it's important to, it's Stéphane Patry. We don't work with unions, but we work with groups, so to make program about like for women. So it's more the collectivity. We work with the collectivity, not with the union.
And Anne, is that an issue in your programming, to have the cooperation of unionized the unions?
Yes, of course, they are. You can say, like, always we have project partners in the network, and we also have strategic partners. So we are very, very much interested in networking with all relevant partners on local level as well as on regional level. So this is, of course, a very, very important topic and point, especially when it comes to the image campaign, to the media campaign. So we are always looking for partners for a cooperation with important persons, like we have a cooperation with the Bavarian Football Association, for example. They are bringing in their ideas, but also money or to share a new idea, to develop a new idea for the campaign, as well as the responsible person for integration Bavarian-wide. So we are always cooperating also with
that's great.
units or with strategic partners.
So it's a strategic partnership. They're really contributing to your program. I see here a quick note from Montreal, from a colleague in Montreal, Stéphane Patry, who makes the point of how important it is to integrate these programs into the collective labor agreement, so you have the unions on board right from the get-go. And I guess this is how you get the best ideas and the most opportunity out of these programs. So when all parties are at the table. I think we have time for one more question, and it's a good question from Marie Etta Cheney. It's about language training, and she asks, what is the requirement for ongoing language training for participants in your programs? And specifically, how do you manage that? Does the employer offer language training as part of the workday, or I think the question is it integrated into the program, or is it something that must be done outside the program? Is it compulsory? So I think we'll ask you, Anne, first, how your program addresses language training.
Mm-hmm. I can say it is part of the program, the Network IQ, language training, German language training, adapted to the profession. You may remember I introduced the 5 competence centers, and one of the competence centers is focusing on the language trainings. Especially they are developing special language training models, instruments for vocational German language training. So we are working very close with this competence center, and we know that it is, besides learning the German language, it is very, very important to learn or to have the opportunity to learn the vocational language,
the technical language
adapted to the profession as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very important. And Nathalie, in Montreal, does the professional sponsorship program include language training? How does it incorporate the need to learn that technical language?
We don't integrate the formation for learn French. But the Minister of Immigration, Diversity, and Inclusion offer many of training to learn French. They can do it by our own or groups, or because the 6-month program is short. It's time to learn to work, to have experience at work. So if you have to learn French, you have to do it after works online, or we offer the tool for that.
Mm-hmm. Great. Okay. So I have another kind of technical question, a quick one for Anne. Houghton in Canada is curious to know if Germany has a program that provides immigrants with microloans so that they can take courses, pass exams, or in order to work in their within their profession, I guess, if they can to gain the credentials they need. She would also like to know if the regulatory bodies are provincial, at the state level, federal, or independent. So those are a lot of questions for you, Anne. But yes, I'm sorry. So let's just does your program in Canada? We have a very well-established program based in Calgary called the IAF, which provides microloans to internationally trained immigrants who need, because there's a cost associated with the accreditation process that's often a barrier to gaining the recognition they need. So does your program offer any financial opportunities, or how do, this is a question that's come up a couple of places about how to support the internationally trained applicant who may have partial credentials or may need to do some work in order to gain the accreditation they need. So it's sort of bridging programs.
Yeah.
What is the situation in Germany for supporting those needs?
Yes. You have to know that persons who apply for the procedure to get their qualifications gained abroad recognized, that this is for free. All measures, all services we provide in the network IQ are for free for individuals, for clients.
Wonderful. Mm-hmm.
So this, and I'm speaking for the counseling services, the counseling on recognition, and the counseling on qualification measures. In the case of a partial recognition, the person need counseling on qualification measures, what is available, where you can get it, and all these things. And we are in the lucky situation that we can provide these training measures in the network IQ for free. So the only thing is, when it comes to, let's say, there are arising costs for, let's say, to translate documents or to pass an exam, there can arise costs, let's say 600 till 1,000 euro, roundabout. It depends on the profession and also on the branch. And there is, which is quite new, that we can, that there is provided something like a support, or let's say microloans, that migrants can apply for this support when it comes to the recognition of foreign qualifications.
Oh, that's great.
But
so it's an evolving program. And that's great, because I think that's what we all need to do, is to be flexible and to evolve, develop these programs as the need arises. So I will ask you, Natalie, whether your program, how does it deal with foreign-trained professionals who may need some bridging programs, who have partial recognition of their qualifications and may need further work to get them formally recognized. How have you built that into your program, or?
You mean the recognition of the credential?
That's right.
Okay.
When a candidate may need more work, more training.
Actually, when the candidate want to participate to the program, they need to have the recognition from the government.
So they've been assessed and their skills of their qualifications have already been formally recognized.
Yeah, they have to send all the paper to the government, and government regard the diploma and make the equality for us to evaluate the
candidate. Yeah. It's all there. And I remember you telling me that this used to take a year and a half or 2 years, and now it's moving very quickly. It can be done in under 6 weeks. I guess that you've managed to influence the government, the policymakers about the importance of not holding up this very important work and reducing those backlogs. Well, thank you to both Nathalie and to Anna, I think, for sharing your expertise, your insights with us. You have given us a real insider perspective on an issue that's vital to all of us. Making sure that the internationally trained immigrant is important to what we call here shared urban prosperity. It's good for immigrants, and what's good for immigrants is also good for all of us. The world is on the move, and most migrants go where opportunity exists, where their dreams can be realized. They choose, and so smart cities understand this, and like Montreal and Augsburg, and other cities in Germany and Canada are actively committed to reducing the artificial poverty of underemployment and helping newcomers succeed. We have now concluded the formal portion of today's webinar, and we have time before we end to ask excuse me. I always like to end the session with one final question for both you and Nathalie. In one word, if you could choose one word, what is the secret to your success? And let's start with you, Anne. What is it that's made your from campaign to Migranet, what is the one thing that's brought you to where you are today?
Networking. I can say really networking is the secret of the success, to bring all relevant partners on the table, to cooperate with them, to exchange with them. And we can see that this is really, really very, very important and successful.
Thank you. And how about you, Nathalie? If you had one word, what to describe the success you've had in Montreal over the last 10 years, what would it be?
Cooperation from the mentor, who, if they are not there, we have no program. So we need the employees to participate, to collaborate with mentees. And the other way is budget, to have to guarantee the program. It's important to have budget for that.
Fantastic cooperation, starting with the mentor, the sponsor. So it starts with each of us. I think that's a great way to end our session and to share that message across our networks. Thank you very much. Our time has run out. On behalf of all of our participants today, the Cities of Migration team here at the Global Diversity Exchange, I thank Anne Guller-Frey from Augsburg and Nathalie Tellier from Montreal for a brilliant exchange of ideas. To our audiences in cities of migration everywhere, I'd like you to imagine this excellent work being interpreted in your city, adapted by your organization, and changing your neighborhood. We'd like to hear your stories and share more good practices, so stay connected.